live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, I'm not going to get too high on beating the Pelicans, but solid game, right? Lakers love to kind of make things interesting a little bit. The Marcus Smart foul, stuff like that. Things that the Lakers really got to clean up, right? There's definitely some things that the Lakers need to do a better job on. Glad we got the win. First win of a back-to-back. Now you go and take on the San Antonio Spurs tomorrow, which is huge because San Antonio lost to the Memphis Grizzlies, right? Yeah, Grizzlies beat them 106-105. So this is a huge moment because we are going into this game 2 games back of the Spurs for the 2 seed. Winning this game now gives us a shot at, if we beat the Spurs, now they've lost 2 straight. We'd get a full game on them. If I'm not mistaken, we'd only be half a game or I think ahead of them. I think we'd jump to the 2 seed. So tomorrow's game is very crucial for the Lakers. The Lakers cannot mess around. I wish the Lakers would have done a little better job kind of closing this out and getting this game over, but I'll take the wins where I can get them. All right, Lakers continue to remain undefeated in crunch time. LeBron James was spectacular this game. I mean, this was like in many ways a vintage LeBron game because he really it wasn't that, just the stats and stuff like that. It was just he controlled a lot of aspects of this game. In that was it, third quarter, he had like 4 straight assists. Again, just picking teams apart with his decision making, picking teams apart. Right? Obviously, he went and dropped 30, which is great. He's 3 of 5 from 3. 10 and 19 overall, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and a block. But he was very active this game, which is what I talked about, right? Made a video not too long ago talking about how Luka and LeBron need to be better, that they need to kind of do some of the intangible things. I think Luka these last few games has been better on the defensive end. You're not expecting him to be clamps and locked down or anything like that, but at least hold your own a little bit. He had a couple great defensive sequences. He had that 1 3-on-1 where he just read it beautifully. LeBron James, right, in that video I talked about him kind of doing more of the margin stuff, right? And he's done an excellent job of that. Seriously, clearly they both watched the channel. But no, in all seriousness, right? LeBron James's impact. Obviously, right now we need the scoring. We need the offensive help. But when Austin Reeves gets back, LeBron kind of settled back into being the third guy. And he's never going to really be the third guy, but he won't have to exert so much on the offensive side of things. He can just go get his 20 or whatever. But kind of, again, continue to help on the margins and have a little more energy, a little more effort for that because we need a fresh LeBron come playoff time. Right? Obviously, Lakers need trades. They need things done. But you're not going anywhere without a healthy LeBron, healthy Luka, right? So if you can kind of keep those guys fresher, then that's great, right? LeBron is just, again, been spectacular. It's been a really good game for LeBron and just the Lakers as a whole. I thought DeAndre Ayton was really good. He had a double-double game. He dominated like he should, right? 18, 11, 3 assists, a steal, 2 blocks. Marcus Smart hit several threes. He was 3 of 7 from 3-point range, gave you 13, had some nice defensive sequences, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block. Like I said, that closeout, right? You just got to be careful in those areas, in those things, right? Just let him shoot it, right? What are you trying to stop? Luka, I thought another thing about Luka, I really do, credit him in the sense of, I think he's done a much better job of kind of, again, getting guys involved and not, he's going to get his 22 shots. That's fine. But I've talked about, do it throughout the course of the game. And I felt like he did a much better job recently, these last few games of, again, letting other guys eat and cook and finding guys and not just heavily dominating the basketball to the point where it's just basically Luka and nothing else, right? Luka these last few games has been, still getting his average, still getting his points, still want him to shoot the 3 ball better. Turnovers, I still want them to clean up as well, or Luka clean up. LeBron's done a good job of cleaning up. This is 2 straight games where he only had 1 turnover, and 8+ assists. Luka had 10 assists, but 5 turnovers is just it's not great, right? He needs to do a better job of taking care of the basketball, but I do think he's done a better job of kind of trusting his teammates a little bit and kind of keeping other guys engaged and involved. He shot 50% from the field, which is efficient, right? And then he, like I said, 30 points, 10 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, a block. Again, got to clean up the turnovers. Jared Vanderbilt's impact is ridiculous. I mean, dude, the guy just makes so many winning plays, keeps balls alive. Right? He had 8 rebounds, 7 points. Again, didn't hit a 3, but he only took 1 of them. So he actually also was doing a good job being kind of the swing man this game with 4 assists. Jake LaRavia didn't have the 26-point game. Like I said, his offense is going to be inconsistent. You're going to have those kind of roller coaster games. He also only took 4 shots. He didn't take a ton of shots, but he did hit that kind of big shot in the 4th in that mid-range, which was good. Again, it's his impact on the defense side, doing the hustle plays, got 8 rebounds. Again, what does he do when he's not getting the attempts, right? I've talked about Rui. He has games like this where he'll only get 4 shots. And it's like, what does Rui impact beyond the offensive side of things? It's why I like Jake LaRavia in the starting unit, because he still has ways to impact the game, still has ways to kind of find his footing when he's only getting 4 shot attempts, right? Like, that's the thing, right? Like I've talked about, like Rui doesn't get enough attempts on a regular basis to justify him in the starting unit, in my opinion. That's kind of my biggest reason for that, for why I like the idea of Jake LaRavia in the starting unit. Just because, again, he gives you things when his offense isn't cooking. What else does he give you? Dalton Knecht was 50% from 3-point range. He hit 2 big threes, which was good. Hopefully he can start to find some rhythm. He's supposed to be getting some more minutes and more games. JJ Redick's favorite, Gabe Vincent, is expected to play tomorrow. So we'll see if Dalton Knecht gets some run, get some playing time. Again, to me, it really just depends on, the games he's playing. I don't mind Gabe Vincent playing, but it's gotta make sense. If he's not giving you anything, then you shouldn't be keeping him around, right? You shouldn't just have him on the roster just to have him on the roster type thing. Ideally, I hope that they end up trading him at some point. But again, like, solid win. I'll take the win. Lakers are on a 3-game win streak. Like I said, they continue to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. Got a lot of very winnable games this month, right? You do what you're supposed to do. Lakers will be, 2-3 seed at worst, right? Lakers go 11-5 or whatever in this month, which is very, very reasonable. I could see them maybe even doing better if they could beat the Spurs, because it's one of the few teams that could beat them. Spurs game is going to be, is huge. This game coming up is massive for both teams, right? Both the Spurs as well as the Lakers. Both teams are going to be going into a back-to-back, but Spurs are the younger, more athletic team, so they're probably not going to be as impactful as the Lakers. Also, LeBron is supposed to return, but we'll see how that ends up playing out. But Herb Jones and Trey Murphy had their Lakers audition today. Love it. Need to find a way to get those two guys. Realistically, I think it'll be the offseason if they end up getting those two. But again, we'll kind of see. I like the win. I'm glad we got the win. I'm not gonna, come on and be like, yeah, Lakers 3-game win streak against Memphis twice, and the Pelicans. But look, Memphis just beat the Spurs. I mean, look, bad teams win all the time. I mean, the Thunder just ran out the gym against the Charlotte Hornets. So again, you can't take teams lightly. I wish the Lakers would have kind of handled business a little more. Some of these tight games, I love that they're now 13-0 in crunch time. That's great. But it's like, I don't really want them playing a ton of crunch time games against these bad teams. But again, go in, beat the Spurs tomorrow, go 2-0 in this back-to-back, give us a 4-game win streak, start to gain some traction in the standings, put yourself in a position to potentially catch the Spurs, and just, again, kind of find your footing is what I really want to see the Lakers do. And, LeBron continues to just be very impressive, pick teams apart. Going to need him and Luka and everybody else all hands on deck for that Spurs game, because, you won the first one, which was great, but you got absolutely blitzed in that second one. You got absolutely ran through in that second one. So need to make sure you're doing a good job. Lakers, JJ Redick also usually has good defensive schemes against Victor Wembanyama. Right, he's actually defended Wemby pretty good. So hopefully that can continue, and then the Lakers can kind of keep progressing into this win column. But great game, solid game. Good. Again, I'll take the W. Right, like that's a huge win. Tomorrow is key. Lakers need all hands on deck, everybody that they can. You just can't Luka and LeBron, they got to play, in my opinion. Like, that game is too vital. One, just to kind of change the narrative a little bit on they can't beat good teams, and two, just help us in the standings for tiebreakers and things like that. So, it's a long season, but we'll see. But anyway, let's get into all these super chat questions, all the regular chat questions, all of that stuff. Real quick, if you haven't yet, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button for me, and let's jump into it. Hi, what's going on, Sports Nerd? My little brother had this trade idea that I think would never happen and is stupid unless you put LeBron in a deal, but I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. So here it is. Lakers get Alpern Şengün, Amin Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., and Josh Okogie for Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Dalton Knecht, DeAndre Ayton, Jared Vanderbilt, and a Thero. Yeah, I don't think, I'm not going to say it's stupid because, again, crazy things happen, right? But I don't see that scenario. Even if you added LeBron, I don't see that scenario. You're essentially trading your entire youth. Like, the thing that makes the Rockets the Rockets, right? The thing that makes the Rockets, one of the better teams in the league and one of the kind of more bright future teams in all of basketball. I don't think that they do that for, even if you include LeBron, for Austin Reeves, LeBron, you lose a lot of what makes sense for the Rockets. But appreciate you nonetheless. LeBron was the MVP of the game, got us the lead in the fourth. Luka made clutch shots, but overall a bad game from him. I'd say I wouldn't really say Luka had a bad game. Again, I thought he was much better. I mean, still some of the shot selection isn't super great. He still tends to take a 10-3 shooting 30%. Not really a huge fan of that, right? But I didn't think he had a bad game. I thought he was good. I think he's done a much better job of letting other guys play basketball and not just him dominating the basketball as much as he has. He's always going to be high usage. He's always going to be heavily on ball. He's always going to, he's going to play the way in which he plays. But yeah, LeBron was ridiculous this game. Again, it wasn't even just the stat line. Stat line is ridiculous. Like, if you didn't watch this game, you're like, man, LeBron had a great game. But if you actually watched the game too, you're like, no, LeBron had like a spectacular game. Give up whoever for Trey Murphy. Look, I am right there with you. I have said on several occasions, I would trade Austin Reeves my first, whatever else. If Austin Reeves doesn't want to go to the Pelicans, trade Austin Reeves to a team that he wants to go to for a bunch of firsts, and then go get Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. Realistically speaking, though, Lakers are there. I do think there's an argument, and I actually have this. I wrote it down earlier to make a video about it. I do think that, like, do the Lakers just go get a couple marginal guys, save the first, save the assets, go into the offseason, and then now you have 3 firsts, a bunch of tradable stuff, even Austin Reeves, if you need to, you can sign and trade, and just throw a package instead of going after a Giannis or something like that. Just throw a package at Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, right? Imagine having, you could go several ways, but if LeBron stays, you could go Luka, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton. If LeBron departs next season, you could go Luka Doncic, you go Marcus Smart or Jake LaRavia, because Herb can play the 2 or the 3, which is good. So you could go, or like, let's say you get a Keon Ellis or something at this trade deadline. You could go, imagine Luka, Keon Ellis, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and DeAndre Ayton. You might be the best team in all of basketball, like, genuinely, right? Like, and Trey Murphy's ability to self-create, because that's the thing, right? Like, part of the argument to not trade Reeves is like, okay, well, who's that secondary kind of shot maker, shot creator? Trey Murphy would be, right? And he's young, he's kind of rising, and he's a legit 2-way guy. Agreed. Lakers need Trey Murphy. Lakers need shooters off the bench. Yeah, ideally. Lakers need a lot of things, for being honest. 23-11. I love it. Love it. Jake had an offensive game, but again, he shows that his hustle and defense are huge for this team. Rui shouldn't start. Agreed. Again, he only took 4 shots, which is part of the conversation that I've had before, right? Like, one of the big arguments that I've made for why Jake LaRavia should start over Rui is because even we've seen games where Rui will only get like 5 field goal attempts, right? And again, it's just Rui doesn't give you all the stuff. I say it all the time. Take away Rui's offense, take away Jake LaRavia's offense. What does Rui give you outside of the offense? He's not Jake LaRavia is a better rebounder. He's a better hustle guy. He's a better margin player. He's a better, defensive player. I mean, that's not even a question, right? Like, Jake LaRavia just does everything else better than Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura, you could argue, is the better, more consistent offensive player, which absolutely. But like I said it when we got Jake LaRavia back in the offseason, Jake LaRavia is better now overall than Rui was when we got Rui, right? You got to remember, we got Rui when he was basically roughly the same age as Jake LaRavia and around the same time. Jake LaRavia will be, by the time he gets Rui's age, will be a much better version of Rui Hachimura, right? If he continues to evolve and adapt and work on his three-point shot and that catch and shoot and stuff like that, he'll give you everything Rui gives you offensively on a consistent basis, but he'll just do more everything. Like, he'll just give you better offense, rebound, shooting, everything else. Defense has been looking a little better, obviously. Still glaring holes, but nice to see them keep 18 near 100 points, even if that is the Pelicans. Yeah, agreed. I mean, like I said, LeBron has done a much better job. He's been more active in doing just kind of the dirty work and intangibles. Luka Doncic has been much better defensively as well. Again, I don't look or expect for Luka to be, the best defensive player on the basketball court, right? Like that's not something that I see Luka doing. But again, can you at least hold your own? Can you at least, make a few key impact plays and stuff like that? Like, Luka every year is one of the better players at deflections and reading passing lanes and getting steals and stuff, but there's more to defense than that, right? You need to be able to move your feet well. You need to be able to stay in front of guys. You need to be able to do things beyond just like, oh, I can read, I can see that this guy's about to pass over here. Let me jump the lane, right? Like, so he's done a much better job. And then also, again, you're adding a defensive player into your starting unit, right? You're running more LaRavia, Vando, and Marcus Smart, which again impacts the overall defense when they're getting more minutes and playing more roles and stuff like that. And then it's also why, like, I get asked all the time, like, Tyler, do you really think, two kind of second tier guys could be enough for this team? Absolutely. Because again, imagine if you could get, two more like Jake LaRavia types. Like I've talked about, even if, obviously we need two-way guys, but even if you just got athleticism, right? Even if you just got guys like, like two more younger Marcus Smart, like again, Ayo Dosunmu and Keon Ellis, you get like those two guys. Now you have, yes, you still have Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart, and Jared Vanderbilt, but now when those guys go to the bench or you're resting those guys or whatever, now you have Ayo Dosunmu and a Keon Ellis, or a Terrence Mann and a Keon Ellis, like whatever, right? Like, you get those two more guys. Now you have five guys rather than just three that can be that impact, that can defend, that can, so you can always keep two or three on the court at all times rather than like, hey, let's play all three at once to really kind of have that defensive lineup. And then, okay, well, we'll just have Jared Vanderbilt. We'll just have Jake LaRavia. We'll just have Marcus Smart. No, now you can have, again, you can have like two in the starting, you can have two in the, coming off the bench, 3 or 4 coming off the bench, whatever. Just put you in a better spot. Yeah, LeBron was spectacular. Evan, I agree, Tyler. Just trade 4 second-tier guys and keep the first. Sign Austin Reeves to $40 million a year, and trade for Herb Jones and Trey Murphy. Lakers won't have to give up all the picks if they. Let me find your other one here. It should be right here. If they trade Reeves, so they can also fill out their bench. And with all the expiring contracts, they probably sign new players or sign LeBron to a smaller deal. Yeah, like Lakers are set up, right? Like, to me, I've talked to, you and me have had conversations about it. Like, I think go get those second tier guys, stay the court, because realistically speaking, you're probably not getting a Herb Jones or a Trey Murphy this trade deadline, right? The only realistic guy that I see that could be your clear-cut starter is Andrew Wiggins, right? Potentially. But even then, Miami's going to want to fleece you. If you can get Andrew Wiggins without giving up a purse, then, do that. Because worst case scenario, if you do have a chance to get Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, you can always trade Austin Reeves, get the assets. Again, he's not going to want to go to the Pelicans, but you can get the assets that you need, plus the assets you have, right, to go do that. And then you could go something like, Luka, Herb Jones, Andrew Wiggins, Trey Murphy, and DeAndre Ayton. Or if LeBron wants to stick around, you can bring Herb Jones off the bench for a year or whatever, right? Like, so again, I just think that that's the better approach. I think that's the better route. And focus. I actually have a video about this. Might post it tomorrow. We'll see. But I think the Lakers need to focus on improving the bench, right? Rui moving to the bench. You have time. You don't have to rush. You got a month. Keep LaRavia in the starting unit. Bring Rui off the bench. Let's see how much Rui can impact the bench offensively. Because if Rui can be kind of your six-man scoring wise, right, and give you, let's say 13 to 15 a night, then now you might not need that other piece, right? Now you might not need not another piece in the sense of like getting athletics. I mean, like a scoring guy, like I've talked about Malik Monk or something. If Rui can kind of be that for you, then you don't need that, right? So now you have Rui as your scoring option. Now you can focus on, can you turn Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleba, Dalton Knecht, and whatever else, like your second or something like that? Can you take some pick swaps and maybe go get some, right? Like, it just get creative, go get like two guys. If you can get a third guy, right? Hit up the Nets and be like, hey, Terrence Mann, do you want to just get off of his salary? Right? Do you want to free up some cap space? We'll give you Dalton Knecht and Gabe Vincent for him, right? And you don't even have to give up an asset. Then you could take Maxi Kleba in a second and go get, somebody else, right? Like, and then you still have your first to go do it. I just think that might be the better approach for the Lakers. And then also you'd open up a roster spot in the process, so then you can bring in, Nick Smith Jr. He's going to give you those inconsistencies like tonight, obviously, but you don't if Rui can be the guy that kind of holds down the fort for you, then, Nick Smith Jr., if he has his inconsistencies, it's fine. You can still weather that. LeBron was amazing and looked engaged on both ends, communicating. Agreed 1,000%. Agreed 1,000%. We don't need all offensive players starting. Agreed. That's why, honestly, if I had my way, like I've said it a million times, if I had it my way, Luka Doncic, Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton would be my starting five. Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura come off the bench. I think now you fix all your bench issues as far as scoring-wise goes. Go bring in two athletic two-way guys, and I think you might be better. Again, I think that they're, even as currently constructed, right, as it stands. But even as it stands, right, like, I do think the Lakers have the Band-Aid or the fixing of what a lot of their problems are, right? Just adding Austin Reeves and Rui to the bench and keeping the starting five you have, again, fixes all the bench offense, gives you better balance overall in the roster, makes it easier to trickle in Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. Like, Reeves can still close games if you needed to. But now imagine when, LeBron goes to the bench, you bring in Rui, right? When LaRavia goes to the bench, you bring in, Jared Vanderbilt. And then, when Luka goes to the bench, you bring in Austin Reeves. Like, you have better balance. Let's see. Lakers got lucky, of course. Whenever Lakers win, they always get lucky. Happy Tuesday. Hello, everyone. What's going on, Daniel? Appreciate you. Herb Jones, not worth a first. I don't think the three ball and been injury prone the past few years. May look elsewhere. Herb Jones is worth first. He's not worth the 2 or 3 first. He's one of the more kind of premier. I mean, you're talking about fringe, like all defensive type of player. You also got to keep in mind the New Orleans Pelicans don't have the playmakers, right? The quality of looks and the quality of shots that Herb Jones is going to get on a nightly basis, he just doesn't get on the Pelicans, right? And it's his defensive versatility, his ability to defend multiple positions, and the injuries. Like, last year, he dealt with injuries, but literally everybody dealt with injuries for the Pelicans last year. Like, last year was terrible for the Pelicans injury-wise. Even Trey Murphy had a bunch of injury games. But for the most part, he's been pretty healthy. Like, he's been one of the guys that has played hang on a second. Like, you look at the previous years. I'm trying to pull it up real quick. Look at the previous years. He's actually been healthy. Here it is. That's what I wanted to see. Come over here. So Again, let me share the screen real quick. Hang on. That didn't work. Here, let's come over here. Why doesn't it work? I don't know why it's working. StreamYard's being silly. Anyway, I'll just read it to you. This season he's played 22 games. Last year he played 20 games. Like I said, he's somebody that last year the entire Pelicans team dealt with injuries. 76 games the 2 seasons ago, 66 games, 78 games. So the first 3 years of the season, he's played, roughly 70 plus games a year. This season, he'd be on pace to basically give you, 67, something like that, 67 to 70, right? It's really just last season. Herb Jones is worth it for. He's just not worth, what the Pelicans want, the 2 first to start and all this other stuff. And again, like, who are you going to get that's much better? Anybody else is going to be multiple first. And probably not even available. I already got that one. LeBron and Luka have developed chemistry. Yeah, they've been much better, right? I talked about it looking clunky during there was that, the stretch in December where we just weren't very good. And it looked really clunky at times, right? Like, it's just like those two, it was just kind of you go, I go, you go, I go. And, credit JJ Redick too, because JJ Redick has started to run more action with the 2-man game with Luka and LeBron, where before JJ kind of fell into the trap, LeBron and Luka kind of fell into the trap of okay, LeBron's got the ball, just let LeBron do his thing, right? Luka's got the ball, just let Luka do his thing, rather than, maximizing those two. So LeBron and Luka have done a better job playing off of each other, and JJ Redick's done a better job with the play calling and getting those two in the 2-man game and 2-man action. So you're seeing it translate, right? You're seeing the success that it's having, which is good. Herb Jones is worth a 5th at best. I don't think Wemby is going to play the back-to-back. LeBron might not either, but I think he will. I mean, a report came out that he's looking to. I think I still have it on my phone. I don't think I did clear it. But yeah, I know that there was a I got a notification that LeBron is looking to do it. They're going to kind of, Luka and LeBron, they're going to, at the end of this game, obviously this game's over now, but going into this game, they were going to see how do those two feel after, and then kind of make the decision accordingly. Tyler, I like the new background and quality of your vids. Looks more professional. Thank you. Right. Like I said, all I needed was everyone to be patient. Like I said, I just needed to get into my new place and move to a new state, right? Needed to kind of get everything in order together. I was getting yelled at regularly. Tyler, fix your background. You bum. Right? No, but in all seriousness, I appreciate it. I do. I really do. And I need to figure out how to I was trying to figure it out on the settings for StreamYard and everything. Like when I do the videos, I have the frame for the way that these posters are, it's perfectly framed for when I'm recording the videos. But for whatever, whenever I do StreamYard, but if I use OBS or whatever, it frames it yet. There's got to be a way to fix it. I don't know how to do that. Cause seeing the door and stuff like that, still looks stupid. And there's a window right here, right? It looks kind of silly in my opinion, but the videos look good. Videos look clean. That's all that matters, right? At the end of the day, live streams, we're just chilling anyway. We're just talking and BSing. The people that are in the live streams are, the ones that that really enjoy just kind of having the conversation anyway. I wouldn't give up a first for Herb. I'd rather trade for Brooks or Murphy. Problem is Murphy's probably going to go for 2, 3 first. Dylan Brooks, I just don't see them trading. Herb Jones is worth a first, right? Again, you can't just judge him off of one game. Right, Herb Jones is worth a first. If you watch him regularly, he's one of the most versatile defenders in all of basketball. He is a good 3-point shooter, right? He is somebody that, again, if you can get him for the right, I wouldn't give up 2, 3 firsts or anything like that for Herb Jones. But if you can get him for, like I said, a first, if you could do, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Knecht in a first, I would do that right now. Right. But the problem is the Pelicans are also in the driver's seat. They don't have to rush to do it. Right. They don't need to again, Herb Jones is a career 36% 3-point guy. 2 seasons ago, shooting 35% this year on 4 attempts. But again, they don't have the playmakers. Like that's something that we got to keep in mind, right? Guys are going to shoot better playing alongside Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves because again, those guys just give you the better quality, especially guys coming from a bad team like the Pelicans, where it's like literally you have no shot creation. So it's like Herb Jones has to do a lot himself rather than just being set up. And you look at kind of the 3 seasons ago, like when they actually did have not great playmaking, but a little bit of playmaking on 3.6 attempts, he was 42% from 3-point range. Right? I think Herb Jones, and again, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but I think Herb Jones, healthy and on this team, I think gives you 38%, somewhere in that range. My Warriors will get the 3 seed. You didn't worry about your Warriors making the playoffs or playing rather than don't worry about the 3 seed. Why did LeBron look faster and more spry than Zion at the age of 41? No, seriously. Zion began his decline before LeBron. LeBron was born in the year 1984. Zion was born in the year 2000. I know it's crazy. It's crazy what LeBron's able to do. Like one of my like favorite tweets, and a lot of you might know the tweet that I'm talking about. There was like a tweet. I mean, it keeps popping up. People keep showing it regularly, but there was a tweet like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago or whatever that was like, luckily we won't have to put up with this too much longer or something along those lines. And now fast forward another like 11 years since that tweet, and LeBron's still one of the best players in all of basketball. Now Bron going to get his numbers back. He is back in rhythm. He's going to average 25 again. Like always. Again, yeah, like, look, I said it before, like LeBron, we saw LeBron take, what was it, like 5-6 games, right? Last year. Remember, he missed like 2 weeks or whatever. And that was in the middle of the season. Right? LeBron then ended up going and missing the first 14 games. So all of the prep, all the preparation, all of the workouts, all of the training, everything he did in the offseason essentially became null and void because he didn't get to do anything. He had to go from that to like just chilling, right? Because he had this addiction. You can't do a lot of the stuff, right? So you gotta let that heal. So again, like I said, give him 10 games before we really start criticizing him. There were things that were bothering me that I wanted him to improve on, that he has improved on, right? Obviously, the offense, we know he can score the ball. We know he can go get 25 whenever he wants, but it's all the intangibles, all the margin stuff. He's done a much better job of the margin stuff. Let's see. The Lakers could be so much better if Luka played team ball. The 10 assists are misleading. Again, he's done it better. He's not fully, like, he's not exactly where I want him to be. If I'm, I would like to see him kind of share and move the ball more. But I mean, again, it's kind of the league now. SGA, high use. The problem is Luka's not being efficient enough to warrant it, right? Like SGA, his usage is, I think right now, I think it's higher than Luka Doncic, right? And they have success because he's so efficient. He's been so efficient. Like you look at previous Luka years, right, where he's clear, like arguably the best player in all of basketball. Those are years he's efficient, right? It's more my issue with Luka is just some of the shot selection, right? Like again, if he's gonna dominate the basketball, it's kind of the new NBA. Pretty much all the teams have a guy that dominates the basketball nowadays. Right? My issue is again some of the shot selection. Instead of we're up 2, and instead of you just getting a quality basket, or we're down 2, instead of you getting a quality basket to get us back in the game or something, he's doing this step back contested 3 over 3 defenders. It's like, move the basketball, share the basketball, right? Or like you see a lot of times, like Luka will kill momentum, so kill runs, right? Like you're on a run, Lakers are on an 8-0 run or something like that, and then like Luka's doing again like an ill-advised step back 3 over 3 defenders. It's like, we don't need that. Don't stop bailing out the defense, right? Like that's kind of my issue. I don't necessarily mind the usage. I don't mind him being on ball as heavy as he is, but it's just, again, it's better decision making. Cut down the turnovers and give me better shot selection. Let's see. LeBron with the role players have looked great ever since he came back. Crazy how good he is at that. Yeah, again, it's just, look, he's always going to have his brain. Like I've talked about, we need LeBron to be Bruce Banner more often than not, right? Just read the game, react, make your decisions, make your reads, right? Like just be calculated. And LeBron's done a much better job of being calculated. Let's see. I don't mind, I'm assuming Braun having pressure on offense. He's a great passer and scorer. More ball handling is fine with me. Yeah, I mean, I've never complained about LeBron being on ball, but again, like I want him. We need him fresh come playoff time, right? Like my concern is, if he has to do what he's doing too long, does he start getting worn down? Oh yeah, it was Braun. Okay. Starts getting worn down. Like the last few seasons come playoff time, LeBron hasn't been healthy, right? He's been on one leg. And a lot of that is the workload he's had to do over the years with Anthony Davis stuff, which is why, like, again, I understand some of the criticism for Luka Doncic, but LeBron at this stage of his career really needed somebody like Luka. Like you don't like there, as much as I love Anthony Davis, and I love Anthony Davis, don't get me wrong, I wish we were able to keep him. But there were questions about him being the guy, right? Like there were nights where more often than not where you needed LeBron to be LeBron, right? Like, and I mean, I say it all the time. How many times have we watched LeBron drop 30 just for us to have a chance to win? Not even win the game, just to have a chance, just to not get blown out, right? Like, and it's just, Luka's great for LeBron because you know what he's going to give you every night. He's going to go get you his 30. He's going to get you, 8 to 10 assists, grab a couple rebounds. Like he's going to keep you in games for the most part. Right? Like, and then, he's going to take the pressure off of LeBron. But, there's going to be times and moments and stretches where it's like, hey, Bron, we need you. We need you, big guy. Like, we got the win. Got a little scared there. But of course, Bron saved the day. Man, they really said that he was washed and needed to retire. Bron is unreal, man. Yeah, absolutely. LeBron is, like, watching these kind of master classes from him is beautiful. Hopefully Marcus is okay. Saw he took contact at the end, so hopefully it's nothing and just a little bump after a long game. Need him tomorrow for the defense. Agreed. We definitely need him tomorrow for the defense. So I too am hoping that it's just a little bump. The problem is even if he's good, I can still see the Lakers. I can still see the Lakers kind of, dropping Marcus Smart, or not playing Marcus Smart, dropping wrong word, not playing Marcus Smart type thing. So we'll see. Tyler's second team is the Spurs. Second favorite team. It's not my second favorite team. Just again, Spurs just made the most sense because of Wemby, right? He's referencing the joke is because I have the Spurs channel, right? And again, it's because I want to expand the brand. Not only do I want to expand the brand, Wemby made sense. Made sense. Like, hey, dude, Wemby's probably going to be the best player in the league for the next 20 years, right? Like, so if I was gonna shift into any team, it just makes sense to go Wemby. If Wemby was on Charlotte, I probably would have made a Charlotte channel. Wemby just happened to be on the Spurs. Yeah, they could keep Herb Jones. I disagree. Like, again, Herb Jones on the Lakers is a very different guy. Again, Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington. Right? Like, you could have said the same stuff about those guys. Like, man, like, you're giving up first for those guys. Those guys are like backup guys. Daniel Gafford was literally a backup for a bad team. Right? Like, PJ Washington was like a fringe starter, probably best off the bench. Again, it's easy to look bad when you're on a bad team. It's easy not to look great when you don't have playmaking around you, when you don't have the stars around you, when you don't have the things around you. Herb Jones going to the Lakers isn't going to have to work as hard on offense. He's going to have the playmaking. He's going to have the star power. He's going to get better quality looks. He's going to be able to focus more on that. You're playing for championships rather than lottery picks, stuff like that. Again, it's just, Jared Vanderbilt, we could have said the same stuff when he was on Utah. Like, Jared Vanderbilt can't shoot. He's trash, all that stuff. We traded for him and he ended up being making us the best defense in all of basketball. We still desperately need Jared Vanderbilt. Again, you can't entirely judge a player on a bad team, right? You got to look at, like, what are the intangibles he does and how would it translate on a team like the Lakers, right? JJ did the Lakers a disservice by not at least seeing if Bron can still be the primary ball handler and the number one option. LeBron doesn't want to be that. That's the thing. Like, Dude, LeBron's been trying to play off ball since the 2020 championship. It's why we went and got Dennis Schroeder the first time. It's why we got Russell Westbrook, because LeBron didn't want to. He played in the 2020 season, was gassed. Like, he didn't want to be the primary ball handler anymore. He didn't want to do that, right? Like, JJ can't force LeBron to do it, right? If LeBron doesn't want to do it, doesn't want to do it. That's why Luka was so great to get, because it allows LeBron not to have to be the primary ball handler. LeBron doesn't want to be it. That's why we've gone through Dennis Schroeder, Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder again, D'Angelo Russell, and now finally we're able to get Luka, because LeBron didn't want to be the ball handler. Why go get all those point guards if you could just have LeBron be your point guard, right? Let LeBron be your point guard, Austin Reeves be your secondary ball handler, and go get the wing depth and stuff like that. But Lakers kept trying to find a point guard so LeBron could have what he wanted, which was playing more off ball. Tyler, do you miss Rui? Yeah, absolutely. I love Rui. Like I said, if you can get the trades that you need and keep Rui and let him be off the bench, then do it, right? Like, if there's not I don't want to trade Rui, I don't think Rui is untouchable. Right? My problem with Rui is just, he's not a star. He's not a 3, 1, and 2, he's not what the team needs in the starting unit, right? But again, Rui can retire a Laker. Let him retire a Laker, right? Like, if it makes sense, it makes sense, right? But like, again, I'm a Laker fan before a Rui fan, right? So if Lakers have to trade Rui in order to upgrade in the areas that they need to upgrade, then yeah, you gotta trade Rui. Yeah, if Knecht can continue to shoot well, that's huge for the Lakers. If we don't trade AR by the deadline, he'd have all the leverage and can ask for no trade clause and max. We got to trade AR now. The problem is getting value for AR. I've talked about this very heavily. I'm not against trading AR at all, right? But how do you get proper value? We're not a team that needs a bunch of picks. We're not a team that needs, like, all you're going to do is trade AR, get a bunch of picks, and then try to trade those picks to go get somebody else. And there's not really anybody else. The issue with AR, and again, I don't think AR gets a no trade clause, right? He'll get his 40 plus million, but he's not going to get no trade. Like, I would be very shocked if he gets a no trade clause, even with the leverage, right? Like, again, there's 2 guys in the league that have a no trade clause, right? Like, and it's literally top players and all. I mean, Luka doesn't even have a no trade clause, right? Like, so again, it's one of those things where, he's not going to, like, no trade clauses are very hard to come by, right? AR also knows the Lakers aren't going to trade him unless it's for something crazy, right? Like, AR wants to be a Laker. Lakers want AR. Luka and AR are besties, right? They're in their little bromance and stuff like that. Like, AR isn't getting, like, AR doesn't have to worry about it. I think he's going to get the bag. Like, wherever you go, right? Like, so I'm not really worried about that. But the problem is, again, even if you trade AR, his contract is so cheap. Like, tomorrow, the Pelicans could call up and go, hey, we'll give you Trey Murphy for Austin Reeves. You literally can't do it. They go, we give you Herb Jones for Austin Reeves. Like, you can't do it. Like, like the Minnesota Timberwolves could be like, hey, we'll give you Jaden McDaniels and 5 first-round picks for Austin Reeves. You can't do it, right? Like, so again, it's how do you make that work? And I've seen people be like, oh, well, you just add other salary and other players. Lakers have other needs. So you trade AR, right? Sure. Like, let's say you give up AR and Rui to go get Trey Murphy. Well, now you don't have that to go do the things that you need to do to go get the other guys. So now you're just trying to get it's tough. It's just a tough spot for the Lakers to be at. Knecht's just so confused out there. Made a big 3 and immediately made a dumb foul. Same thing he did at the end of the third. Yeah, but he had a good charge. He's figuring some stuff out. We need to trade him, so he's doing great. Luka for Zion and Trey Murphy. Hey, we get Gabe back tomorrow. LOL. Hopefully he stays healthy for a month so we can trade him. FX. Bro always seems to play for a month and then get hurt again. Yeah, seriously. No, don't play Gabe again. We're down so many bodies. I don't mind it, but we need, like, again, it's the amount in which you play Gabe. I don't mind running Gabe out there in spurts, right? Like, it's one thing if he's playing 10 minutes. Right? It's another thing if he's playing 25 minutes, right? LeBron is a game manager, period. A win is a win. Let's go Lakers. Yeah, that's what we need is game manager LeBron. Laravia and Smart are inconsistent offensive players. Absolutely. 100%. And look, as big as I am on Jake Laravia, You got to expect that, right? I mean, I talked about it, I made a video about it, all of it, right? Like Jake LaRavia does all, Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia do so many of the intangibles. You need them. You need them badly. Like, Lakers just don't have other guys other than Jared Vanderbilt that can do that. But yes, Marcus Smart's always been inconsistent offensively. I mean, you look his entire career. Jake LaRavia, he'll get into his own. Jake LaRavia's issue is he's young, inexperienced, right? And now this is kind of like his first big role. Also, doesn't help when you only get 4 attempts, right? Like, Jake LaRavia could have went 4 or 4 and at most would have had 12 points. Let's see. If Lakers played entire games like they do in the clutch, you'd be 82-0. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, Lakers 13-0 in the clutch. So I'm glad we got the win. Tomorrow we'll decide if Luka, LeBron, and Smart will play against Spurs. Yeah, we need them to play. If Smart's got to sit out, then Smart's got to sit out, but you need LeBron and Luka. Herb is like Vando, no offensive game. He's better than Vando offensively. Again, can't judge him on one game. I know it's easy to go like, oh, look at that. Like, again, he's had good offensive games. Let's see. I mean, he was guarding Luka all game. So, what do you think the Lakers' plan is? Jake Fisher said Ayton isn't the answer. LeBron James seems like he may be gone. Lakers will be hesitant this deadline. Maybe wrong wording, but what the F is the plan? I mean, look, where's Paul even said Lakers need to have a plan? Look, Lakers don't want to disrupt their potential in the offseason, which I do get. So something I've talked about the last few years, you look at free agency, right? Because you get comments all the time, right? Where it's like, dude, Lakers just don't get guys, are not upgrading. Like, but like, again, look at go back, look, right? Don't just take my word for it. Go look at it yourself. Free agency, the last like 3 years or so, have not been great, right? Like, Lakers usually get the guys. They just haven't panned out or they're undersized or whatever, right? Like, like Christian Wood, there was like 5 teams literally waiting around for him. And he chose the Lakers, right? Like, Gabe Vincent was like a huge signing at that time, right? Like, and it just hasn't worked out, right? Like, Lakers, there hasn't been those guys. This offseason, there is. This offseason, I mean, Lakers could get 5, 6, 7 guys, literally. And they'd have the cap space, right? So, like, Lakers could easily go and throw money at a Tari Eason. They could throw money at a Walker Kessler. If Ayton really isn't the answer, go throw money at Walker Kessler. He's like ideal for what you need defensively. Right? Like, Lakers don't like, if Lakers can find the moves, they'll take it. Right? Like, if they could go get Herb Jones tomorrow, they would go trade for Herb Jones tomorrow. Right? Because he's a guy that makes sense for now and the future. He's on a good contract, stuff like that. I really think guys like Keon Ellis and Ado Theor, or not Ado Theor, Ayo Dosunmu, guys like that have cheap cap hits, because that's the key. Like, Austin Reeves has a cheap cap hit. His cap hit's only like 20 million, right? So they could pay him 40 million and it won't affect how he just has to be the last signing. So guys like Keon Ellis have like a really small cap hit. I would assume we have a really small cap hit. If Lakers are going to make trades, they're going to make trades for guys like that have a small cap hit, to where they can bring those guys in, go and end up trading for who they need to in the offseason, sign who they need to in the offseason, and then be a contender for now in the future, right? Because it's just not those guys. Like, that's essentially the plan. That's what the Lakers are trying to do. Let's see. I'm glad we get the win, but I still don't see problems being solved. Another close win against a bad team. I mean, again, don't underestimate Lakers bringing in 2 guys. Question is, will they bring in 2 guys? Tyler, what do you even watch on YouTube? Usually it's not basketball stuff, because I do this for a living, right? So, like, usually, when I'm researching and doing all that other stuff, like, if I'm just like watching YouTube, I mean, I like I'll listen to like Moist Critical, Meat Canyon, right? Like Papa Meat and all that stuff. Usually, random video like, oh, like, hey, this looks cool type thing. It just depends. Right? It just like something like intrigues me. Usually it's just background noise, right? So usually I'm just kind of playing like because I'm editing or working or making, uploading videos or whatever. So it's more often than not if I'm watching YouTube, it's just kind of background noise. Like usually I'll put on like either like if I'm like music or like a movie or something like that and just have it playing in the background type thing. Um let's see. Um Would you sell the farm for a Zion and Luka duo? I wouldn't sell the farm for it, but I've talked about taking a flyer on Zion because the beauty of Zion is every year he's a non-guaranteed. So every year, if it doesn't work out, you just get off of him and clear the cap space or trade him as a salary dump or something. I don't like if LeBron leaves in the offseason, I don't hate the idea of like if you can't get Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, could you get like a Zion and Herb Jones, something like that? Have Zion be the 4. Um, let's see. Keon Ellis might be literally the worst offensive player in the NBA and has a below average defensive rating. He's not even good. I disagree, but um, and again, talk about Sacramento Kings team that's like one of the worst offenses. Like they're not even playing defense. Like Keon Ellis is like one defensive player in the entire Sacramento Kings, and he's getting like 12 minutes a night, if that. So I mean, to expect him to have like an insane defensive rating is ridiculous. And you also got to keep in mind, defensive rating it isn't just an individual stat, right? It's like what is he doing like on the court with the guys that they're on. Like when you're the only defensive player and you're giving up 121, right? Like it's kind of hard to make yourself look good defensively. You should be able. I mean, you look at like what Bane and stuff like that went for. You should be able to get more than 2 first for AR. Problem is, Lakers don't need first, right? Like Lakers need players, right? Like if you could turn AR into players, then sure. Because the problem is, you go trade AR and you get, let's say, a team offers you 4 first, right? Like, yeah, that's great, but then now you still need to make the trades and give up the first, and there's just not the guys that are available right now. Like that's something. If you want to do it in the offseason. Right, sign in like say you want to go get Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, sign and trade AR to a team, get the assets and the picks that you need to then go pivot that into a Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. If the Lakers were locked in, they would be trying to send Reeves to Minnesota for Dante and Jaden, or Houston for Jabari, Tari, and Reed. Look, I've talked about the Houston trade. Houston and honestly, Houston and the Lakers trade might be my favorite one. Because as good as Austin Reeves has been this year, I think you get Jabari. I want Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason. Reed Shepard could be nice. Personally, I'd let him keep it. Lakers need athleticism and defense. Like I would be trying to get Jay Sean Tate, right? And the salary matches. Like you could do literally Gabe Vincent and Austin Reeves and get Jabari, Tari, and Reed. And Jay Sean Tate. Also, I don't know like if they would want to give up Jabari and Reed. Like keep Reed. Like fine, keep him. Just give us Jabari, Tari Eason, and Jay Sean Tate. Now you have 3 athletic, versatile wings. And then now you can go trade Rui and everything else, plus your first and all that stuff, and go get another guy. At that point, I'd probably go. Like if you can't get Herb Jones, I'd probably go in on Andrew Wiggins and just go Luka, Wiggins, Tari Eason, or you go Luka, Wiggins, Jabari Smith, have Eason come off the bench with Jay Sean Tate, right? Or you could just kind of leave it, keep your first, and go into the offseason, right? Because you'd still have like your starting 5 could be Luka, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton. I think you're a better team. I think you got the size, the length, the athleticism. I would trade AR and a first for Trey. I would try Gabe and Maxey for Cam. Well, Cam Thomas is only making like I think it's $8 million, so you'd only have to do one of them. LeBron's legs are finally under him. Dude was zooming tonight. It was all about getting over the hill. Yeah, can just gotta give him time to get his legs under him. Like I said, my issue with him wasn't the offense. I wasn't worried about the offense. Like I've talked about, we know he can score. We know he can go down. It's just the intangibles. We needed him to kind of do the intangibles. Jake do all the small things. He does. He's really good at just getting the margins, the margin stuff. I think Vando should be starting at small forward. Still, Arabia has not moved the needle. Lakers just playing on easy schedule right now. I mean, I don't mind Jared Vanderbilt. Like I've said, my ideal would be Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt alongside Luka, LeBron, and DeAndre Ayton. But again, there's an argument for Laravia. Yes, he's inconsistent offensively, but he is better than Jared Vanderbilt offensively. He doesn't cover as much ground as Jared Vanderbilt, but he's still been good. Need just a little shooting and defense, and we can win a championship. Yeah, I don't like. I'm telling you, I don't think the Lakers are that far. Being good is returning to that 2023-2024 3-point shooting. When he started hitting spot up threes, occasionally in the clock step backs, it makes the game so much easier for him. Yeah, agreed. And well, LeBron said himself, all he did was work on this offseason was, well, not all he did, but mostly what he did was catch and shoot 3-point shooting because he knew he was going to be playing alongside Austin Reeves and Luka, right? But then, like I said, he came in the league came into the season, missed 14 games, so all that work essentially went away. So he's got to get himself in a rhythm because I do think once Reeves comes back, I think LeBron will play more off ball. Right? Like he's taking right now, he's averaging like the fewest 3-point attempts in the last like 10 years or something like that for him. I think he gets that. Like I even said going into the season, right? One of my big things was like, I think LeBron averages like 7 to 10 threes this season. And I think he'll have the best shooting season of his career, or one of them, right? Like he just hasn't taken the volume and is now just getting back in a rhythm. If we could trade Rui, Gabe, Dalton Knecht, and a second-round pick for Wiggins and Norman Powell, I don't think that they'd trade Norman Powell. I think they'll do everything they can because I think they're going to end up trading Tyler Hero in the offseason. They didn't give him that extension. He wants like max money. I don't think they want to pay him that money. I think that they'll keep Norman Powell and get off of Tyler Hero and go make a big splash, big trade. I would love Norman Powell if you can get him. I just don't think that the Miami Heat would do that. And I don't think that like they want a first-round pick just for Wiggins. I don't see them like you'd have to give up a first for both. I think at least LeBron's 3 will come back at some point. Yeah, that big sidestep 3 to beat the clock in the fourth. Yes, again everything comes. Let's see. Trade drop 40. Lakers need a better defender. Yeah. Lakers need a way better perimeter defender. I mean, to be fair, Trey Murphy's doing that like regularly. Like, Tyler Reeves and a first for Denny Avdia from the Blazers. I don't think the Blazers would do that, honestly. One, I don't think Reeves would want to go play for the Blazers. And two, I mean, Denny's looking like Luke, like a young Luka, man. That dude's ridiculous. I mean, I would do that in a heartbeat. I would trade everything outside and not name Luka to go get Denny. I don't think the Blazers would do that. Let's see. I'd prefer getting multiple guys from the Nets Bulls over getting Herb personally. The Nets trade is still my favorite trade. I just think you solve like basically everything you need, and then you could still go do something in the offseason. You bugging? I'm still trading for Herb. I'm still trading for Herb as well. I think people are overreacting to the one game personally. Where can we find a Lamar Odom or Rob Dory caliber player right now? Yeah, Spurs losing helps big time if we win tomorrow. So Lakers gotta get that W. Let's see. I really wish they wouldn't play with their food against these teams, especially when we have to play the Spurs team the next night. Agreed. I really wish that they would have just kind of handled business, did what they were supposed to do, and just moved on. Let's see. LeBron is not an all-star. People say, yeah, exactly. LeBron was still a top 10 player in the league last year. Even if he did have a decline, he's not going to go from like 10th to like 50th, right? Like the guy is still unbelievable. Tyler, I missed this somebody else's basement look. That's great. I love it. I know. Like Wisconsin's just like that, like with the wood panels and stuff like that. It's just kind of how it is, right? Like, I mean, even like where we're at, like it's nicer. It's actually like real wood. It's not like the faux wood, but like even like over downstairs we have like it's like wood. It's just it's Wisconsin, right? It's just how they build stuff, right? All the wood paneling, all the wood aesthetic stuff like that. Yeah, it's just very different than Vegas. I'll tell you that. But yeah. And then before, when I was like recording over there, it looked like people had comments all the time that were like, Tyler's recording in a janitor's closet or something like that. That was great. I love it. Dude, I would record anywhere. I'd record in a box if I had to. I said, I love what I do. I'm blessed. Wemby might play. He can only miss so many more games before he's ineligible for awards. Yeah, agreed. Luka got popped in the balls and bowled over, and everyone just kept playing. Yeah, it's usually how it goes. LeBron ramps up December to March. Yeah, I mean, every year we get the second half LeBron. Like, every year it's the same thing, right? Like, you get the, like, what does LeBron always say, right? After the All-Star break, he's always like, okay, we're going to take every game like a playoff game. And every year the Lakers go on that, like, second half run. So I trust that the Lakers will do that. Let's see. Vote for LeBron as an all-star. Agreed. 1,000%. LeBron needs to be an all-star. Even if he doesn't get the votes, like, the NBA needs to just make him an all-star. Like, what he's doing at his age, at this stage, like, it'd be a crime. Make him an honorary all-star guy, right? Like, and again, you could justify it if you're the league because you've never had a situation like this. You've never had somebody this late in their career. LeBron's definitely an all-star yet. Are you seeing what I'm seeing defensively? The Lakers are extremely bad, yet they're in the thick of things at the top of a high competitive Western Conference. Why? Because, again, there's a lot of bad teams. The Lakers are really good at beating bad teams. Like, I've said it several times, right? Like, Lakers are going to win 50-plus games because there's enough teams that they'll steamroll on a regular basis. It's just, again, the lack of defense is the issue for, obviously playoffs, and then also, against the good teams, right? Like, there's a formula to beating the Lakers, but Lakers are a good basketball team, right? Like, I know, like, people want to say, oh, Lakers are trash. People like Lakers. No, are they a top tier contender? No, I wouldn't go that far, but they're a very good basketball team. They are kind of that second tier contending team. Right? Like, I wouldn't bet on them to win a championship, but, like, would anyone really be surprised if Lakers win a championship? They have LeBron James, Luka Doncic, right? Like, Austin Reeves is, and if the Lakers win the championship, you get like, oh, Lakers are a super team. What do you expect, right? Like, when all season everyone's saying that they're trash. It's funny, earlier in the season, it was Lakers are a super team. Now it's like Lakers are trash. Now Lakers start winning again. Lakers are super team again. At the time, it was all skinny and healthy. Herb's probably worth a first, but I was thinking more around the context of the Lakers. We only have one tradable first, and getting only one guy from it isn't worth it, in my opinion. Need multiple guys. Again, that's why I like the idea of the Nets trade, where if you're going to trade a first, trade that first and go get 3 or 4 guys. Right? Like the Nets, again, they're all guys that they're going to lose anyway, that they're not going to get first for and all that stuff. And if you're the Nets, you're just trying to stack assets at this point. So I do like the Nets trade. The reason for Herb Jones, though, and the reason it justifies is because he's the exact type of player you need. And you need, like, and he's a long-term answer, right? Like, I wouldn't give up a first for Andrew Wiggins because you only got maybe this year and next. But somebody like a Herb Jones, you solve your starting 3 for the next, 6 to 8 years. I love Jake in the starting lineup. He may not always score 15 to 20 points every night, but he does the little things and hustles hard and things, something Rui doesn't bring at 3-spot. Agree, right? Say it regularly. Remove the scoring from Rui, remove the scoring from Jake LaRavia. What does Rui give you besides scoring the basketball? Jake LaRavia is a better rebounder, better defender, better swing man. He's just better at everything, right? Let's see. A 41-year-old asking him to improve, yuck. A 41-year-old making $54 million a year and still a top 10 to 15 player in all of basketball. This is not yuck, right? If LeBron was on a vet minimum, 41 years old, a rotation guy, sure, right? Like if he was Vince Carter at the time Vince Carter was in the league at this point, then yeah, sure, I can understand that. But again, I have said I believe LeBron James is the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball. I can't go and say that and then not hold him to a standard, right? I can't hold him to a role player standard. He's also not being paid as a role player. If he didn't want anybody to criticize him or say anything or do anything like that, take 10 million and then, it's like, hey, like, what do you expect? LeBron's 41, you're 23, making 10 million. But you can't have max money, still have your agent talking that, you're still the superstar that you are. You can't be having these monster games and then not expect criticism. Again, I adjust my criticism because he's 41 and you're 23. I'm not going to hold him to the same standard he was when he was 27 compared to 41. But to pretend like you can't criticize LeBron. Like, look, again, I'm a LeBron guy. I think LeBron's the greatest player ever. But LeBron fans, like, you say what? Like, hey, he had 8 turnovers. LeBron don't have 8 turnovers. Oh my God. That's why people don't take LeBron stand serious. Because you can't be honest about LeBron. Because the moment you're honest about LeBron, all of the LeBron stands come out of the woodworks going, yuck. Like, again, he's making $54 million. He's one of the best players in all of basketball. Like, of course he's not above criticism. What are you talking about? Right? Like, it's crazy to me. Tyler, who's your favorite? Who's your second favorite team? Mine is the Cavs. I don't like favorites. Probably not the right word. I would say more respect. Right? Like what are the teams that like Boston? Like, I'm a big historic guy. Right? I hate Boston. Don't get me wrong. Laker guy. Right? Bleed purple and gold. It's always F Boston, but I respect Boston because of the history and legacy. I mean, Boston and the Lakers saved the league, right? So I have a level of respect for Boston that I don't have for any other team. So, like, again, I don't think favorite's the right word because, like, I'm not like ever rooting for Boston. Right? Like, I want them to win 2 games every year, right? But like, respect is probably the better term. If you want to call it favorite, fine, call it favorite, whatever you want to do. But like, I respect Boston for the history because, again, I say it all the time. I am a basketball freak, right? Like, I love that. I am a Laker fan, but I'm also a basketball fan. I love the game. I love the history, right? Like, I constantly am like trying to update my, index in my brain and stuff like that on the game, on the sport, right? Like, so I have a respect for a team like Boston. Team like the Spurs, right? All those rivals. I mean, I grew up in the Spurs Laker era, right? So I have a certain level of respect for the Spurs, right? Like, there's teams that I have respect for more than like, I don't like when I say like favorite team, like, there's not really another team that I root for to win. There's players where I'm like, man, I'd love to see that guy go win a championship, or I'd love to see, Anthony Edwards, right? Like, if the Lakers aren't going to win the championship, let Anthony Edwards win a couple championships, right? Like, there's like players that like I'll root for. I'm like, man, I really like that guy. I really want to see that guy have some success. And then there's like, again, like teams that I respect, right? But I'm not like, to me, if like for me to call somebody my favorite, I'd have to be rooting for them, right? Like, I'm not rooting for anybody. Like, again, if Boston, I want them to lose. I don't want them to win 2 games every year. Spurs, I want them to win, but I respect the hell out of those teams because of the history and the legacy and all those things. So, are the Lakers going to play it safe like Scream 7, or are they going to shake things up by the trade deadline? I think they're going to play it safe. I do. And to be fair, again, I don't think that there's a lot that makes sense for the Lakers, right? Like, I don't think you're going to get that clear-cut starting wing, which is frustrating. It's unfortunate, but I just don't think you're going to get that. And so at that point, it's like, are you really going to sell the farm for a bunch of second-tier guys? Especially because, look, if I put myself in Rob's shoes, right? It's like, okay, I'm not going to be able to get a second-tier high-end wing. Top of me not being able to get a second-tier high-end wing. Do I really want to trade all my assets for guys that I can just sign in the offseason? Right? Like, it's just, I get it, like, it's frustrating, but I get it. The problem is Luka and Austin Reeves. The Lakers have problems far beyond Luka and Austin Reeves. 1 game at a time, Tyler. I know. Well, Spurs is the next game, so we can have multiple favorite players. but only one favorite team. I mean, like I don't mind people being like, Kier said, Cavs are his second favorite team. Like a lot of people have, other favorite teams. I think that there should be a pecking order. Like I said, I wouldn't really call it favorite because, like I said, I'm not really rooting for any other team. Like Lakers are the only team I really like root for that I want to see win, and I want to beat everybody and everything like that. But there's, like I said, there's teams that I respect. There's teams that, yeah, like I hate Boston. It's F Boston, but I respect the hell out of them. Low key, I want Christian Wood back to see what he looks like under JJ. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't hate that either. I just think Christian Wood, I think a lot of it was just circumstance, right? Like, I really do. I think it's just circumstance. Blanca said Tyler watches do live videos. That's great. No, I don't want Stu to go back. I'm not a big Stu return guy. No, Blanca's just teasing me. Tyler would be a great coach. The things he can see in the Lakers is amazing. Like you pay attention to everything. I mean, it's kind of my job, right? Like kind of hard. Like I'm one of those, like I'm very, I guess, meticulous about like stuff. Like I don't like talking about stuff I don't know. Like I'm one of those people, like if you ask me something, like I say it all the time. Like I have no idea. All right. Like I even say it in videos, say it, people ask me questions. I'm like, I don't know. Ask me in a year or whatever. Or ask me when, we get approached. Because, I just, I don't want to talk about the Lakers unless I know everything about the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to. I can't talk about trades for players that I have no idea about. Right? Like I'm one of those. I'm in that even in my personal life. Like I'm just one. Like if we were hanging out and you ask me a question, if I don't know, I'll just be like, I have no idea. Like I can find out. Like give me a few minutes. I'll see if I can figure it out or find it out. But like I feel like a lot of people are almost afraid to just be like, I don't know. It's like, you can't know everything. Like there's a lot that I don't know, but I'm learning every day. I'm trying to experience things every day. I'm trying to, expand my knowledge every day. But, so me being, a Laker YouTuber, a content creator, I feel like I need to know everything about the Lakers. I need to know every detail that I can. I need to know, like statistics, stats, everything. Like, so if somebody asks me a question, I can be educated on it, right? Kind of hard to talk about something. And not just that, but people know, right? If I come up here and I just start talking, right? Like people know, like, you have no idea what you're talking about. Right? There's always the trolls that are like, anything nice. Like I could give you facts and they're like, oh, you're just casual. Like, okay, right. Like, right. Cause this is all I'm just making this up. Right. But I'm talking about like, legit, like when somebody's like, okay, this guy has no idea what he's talking. Like, why are you talking about this? Like, you should not be talking about this, right? Like, that's kind of what I don't ever want to be. So if I'm gonna be a YouTuber, and I also think if you're gonna have success in this space, you need to know what you're talking about. So no coaching, but here's the thing, like, and I appreciate the compliment. Seriously, I've coached like minor stuff. I have actually probably more coach experience than JJ, but not at the NBA level, but again, like there's a lot that goes into coaching, right? Like there's a lot behind the scenes that go on with coaching at an NBA level that people don't really take into account. Like, why is JJ playing Gabe Vincent? Because you're trying to trade him, right? Like one of the big arguments for Keon Ellis and why he's not worth a first is because Sacramento doesn't play him. Like, you want us to give up a first for a guy that we have to pay, and you're giving DMPs and playing 12 minutes a night. Right. So like, people go like, why is Gabe Vincent playing all the time? Because you need to play him. Right. You can't be like, you can't trade him. Like if I'm another team, I'm gonna be like, why that? Like, wait a minute. So you want me to give you this guy for a guy that you don't even want, that you don't want to play? You don't want, like, is not part of your rotation. So like, why? Like, other than expiring contracts, right? So again, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. You're dealing with the organization, you're dealing with the GM, you're dealing with player egos and managing players and agents, right? Austin Reeves, like, I would bring Austin Reeves off the bench, but if Austin Reeves' agent is like, absolutely not, right? Like, yeah, I'm the coach, but that's why you need the backing from the organization and things like that, because, you see coaches are afraid to do things because they're like, I don't want to lose my job, right? Like, there's a lot that goes into coaching outside of just the X's and O's and, calling rotations, stuff like that. But I appreciate that. I'm gonna do a couple more questions and I'm gonna skate on out of here. Because we got another live stream tomorrow. So teams in the West. that are good are not trying to help the Lakers. Yeah, you're not wrong. No, nobody's trying to help the Lakers. What would you give up for Keon Ellis? Dalton Knecht in a second. Lakers supposedly want to just give up Knecht. Like, if you had I would try to just swap Keon Ellis for Knecht. I'd be like, look, you're gonna lose him in the offseason. Like, you could do worse than Dalton Knecht, right? Like, I would be patient. Like, go ahead, like try to trade him, like, because they're not gonna get a first for him. But a team would give up a second. Like, there's a team that'd give up a second. If you told me we could get Keon Ellis for Reeves or for not Reeves, Knecht in a second, I would do it. I wouldn't be super thrilled about it because, again, you're kind of running a risk of him leaving in the offseason. But Lakers really could use a guy like Keon Ellis, and he got to pay to play. Teams aren't really looking to help the Lakers. But I would be trying everything to just swap. Like, hey, here's Dalton Knecht. You don't want, okay, fine. Then you try to trade him. You're going to lose him in the offseason, so go ahead. Like, I would play the hard game. But if push came to shove at the end, I'd be like, all right, if I got to give up a second, I got to give a second. I'll be the Lakers versus Spurs game. That's awesome. Enjoy. That should be a lot of fun. All right. Can we get an injury update video on Rui tomorrow? He's gonna miss the road trip. Like, the problem is we don't really have a ton of updates. Like, the only thing we know about Rui is that he is expected to miss this road trip. So he's probably not gonna be back for probably another week. They're gonna be easy with him. We don't have like a definitive update, unfortunately, or at least anything that I've seen. I can double check if there's something that I missed or something. Then yeah, sure. Let's see. Gabe holding this team back. He's the reason why the Lakers can't keep Jordan Goodwin. No one wants Gabe, and other teams wanted more assets, but at the same time, the Lakers got Chris Menon. I think that they need to play Chris Menon. Honestly, I really do. But do you think we should run DeAndre Ayton as a third option consistently and running Braun or AR interchangeably between third and fourth options? Not sure if that makes sense. I like Luka, LeBron James, DA, and AR. So in the offseason, obviously I didn't know Austin Reeves was going to end up playing like a, top 5 player in all of basketball. But going into the season, I talked about, like, I thought DeAndre Ayton might end up being the third option just naturally. I don't hate the idea. The problem is, as good as Austin Reeves is, if he can continue to play to that level, then he's going to be the second option. And then LeBron, he's playing off ball. It doesn't mean that, like, I would be trying to, because LeBron is really good at just finding his spots, finding his pockets. I would kind of operate Ayton as the third option. So I'd have Reeves, Luka, and LeBron really kind of feeding Ayton and keeping him engaged and invested and all that stuff. And then have LeBron kind of trickle in. It really is about how do you space LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves? And I don't mean like on the court. I mean like minute-wise, like how do you trickle them in? But yeah, I mean, hypothetically, you could interchange, but we are not utilizing DA more often enough. If guys don't have it going, I feel like DA might be able to beat his matchups consistently. Besides, like 8 dudes. Yeah, no, I mean, he has. I mean, he's had some pretty great games against some of the better centers in the league. Again, I would personally operate it more. Keep him engaged. Keep him invested. Right, like. I like that JJ called it out. Like, a lot of people were blaming Ayton for it. Like, Ayton didn't say it. JJ Redick said it, right? Ayton ended up saying it after. But they're right. Right? Like, it's like Anthony Davis. How many times have we seen Anthony Davis have 30 points through 3 quarters and then just not touch the ball in the fourth? Like, that's on the coaching. That's on the ball handlers. Right? Like, it's even coached. Like, again, you can only micromanage a game so much. Ball handlers need to find their guy. Right? And it's hard. Like, if you're Ayton, I'm working my ass off. I'm setting the screens. I'm rolling. I'm doing all this stuff. And you're just jacking up ill-advised threes. And by the time I'm not even set. So by the time I get there, the ball's already over my head. Like, so how am I supposed to grab 8 rebounds? Right? Like, you look at this game, Lakers kept him fed. Right? He got 16 shot attempts. DeAndre Ayton should be getting, especially with him shooting 70% on the season, DeAndre Ayton should be getting at least 14 attempts per game. In that 14 to 16 range, that's where he should be at. That'll keep him invested. That'll keep him engaged. He's going to give you more 11 rebound games, right? Allow him to get set more, stuff like that. Personally. Lakers need to pass the TA more, especially when Luka is driving through 3 guys and throwing it out of bounds. Yeah, I agree. Got to find the DA. I just saw the Thunder get beat by 30 to the Hornets, and the Spurs lost today. The Lakers have beat the Spurs, the Suns, and the Timberwolves twice. Yes, agreed. Can anybody beat anybody on any given night? All right. They just lost by what, 27? Agreed, DA deserves more touches. Yes. Do you think Rui has the potential to be better than he is? I think he can be a good rebounder and defender, and that he wasn't always that bad on that side of the floor. Is it a skill or effort? I mean, can Rui be better? Yes, absolutely. Right. Problem is like if Rui went to the right team, right? A team like what's a team like I think like the Spurs. Honestly, I think Rui makes sense for the Spurs because they could use some of his shot creation. Like the problem is with Rui is you need him to be a 3-and-D guy. And it's why I've talked about, like, I've even made the argument, like, do you really pay a premium for Andrew Wiggins? Right? Like, guys like Miles Bridges, guys like that, right? Like, because the thing that makes them great is their ability to self-create and not be reliant on Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. The problem is you don't need somebody like that because you have Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves, right? Like, yes, Lakers could use a secondary, like, use another shot creator, but off the bench, right? So, like, somebody like that's why I think Rui makes more sense off the bench because you can better maximize him on the offensive side of things. Defensively, he's never going to be like athletic and move his feet well, but if he can play more 4, he's better defensively. He's at least serviceable defensively at the 4. He also rebounds better at the 4. Rui's problem is the role in which he's playing, which to his credit, he's done a really good job of adapting to that role, but it's the role that he's playing as well as being slotted out of position. 2 things that usually don't bode well successfully for guys, right? You're not only am I out of position, but I'm playing a role that doesn't best maximize my talents, right? Like one of the exciting things about getting Rui Hachimura was he was one of the most efficient mid-range players in all of basketball. I mean, like Kawhi Leonard level efficiency in the mid-range. And he just doesn't get those opportunities. He doesn't because he's basically relegated to being catch and shoot 3-point shooter because you got Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves, right? So I like watching Denver, fun team to watch. Yeah, definitely. My other favorite team is the Raptors since 2013. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, I mean, both Lakers and Raptors, but Lakers first, though. Absolutely. Let's see. What would he sound the alarm time for the ownership to take over? Because honestly, I think they're going to let Rob do his thing till the ship is sinking. I think it'll really boil down. I think ownership's going to let Rob and Jeannie run the show for the next 5 years like they did. It would have to take something drastic, like Luka leaving or, Lakers end up putting themselves in a position to where they're a bottom feeding team, right? Lakers are good enough to where if you're an owner, you're like, okay, we have a shot and that's all you can ask for, right? And things take time in ownership. Most ownership understands that. At the end of the day, it's business. You're making money. You're winning games. Lakers are top 3 seed, right? It's hard to be from an ownership standpoint, it's like all of the things that matter look good, right? It's just a fan base perspective where we need to win championships, right? If Lakers don't win a championship by the time Rob's extension and Jeannie's extension is up, then both of those guys will be gone. All right, I'm going to do one more. That's 2 body pillow. Definitely look at that. I don't even have a body pillow. Actually, I should probably get one. I don't mind. I'm not against body pillows. It's 2 body pillow. That's a good one. Keens are crazy asking a first for DMP freaks sake. Yeah, exactly. 1,000%. It's wild. I mean, the difference is they're terrible. The difference is playing and they're terrible. Yeah, I get. It's hard for somebody to be great when they're doing that. Minus asking for a first yet. It's ridiculous. Bro, that equate water hits different. If you know, you know you. Let's see. The value comes from the expiring contracts here. We need to study DK's downfall, like he shoot like the next Klay Thompson. Then the trade happens, and he still plays like Klay, the recent Klay. I mean, again, it's. I know everybody wants guys to be, just stone, right? Everyone wants guys to be as, like, hey, it's business, right? But again, it's his rookie season. Not just that, it's not like he was traded, right? I mean, how many times in the history of the league have guys been traded and then had to go immediately back to the team that traded them? There's very few times in the history of the league that happened. The example that I use all the time is look at Lamar Odom. Right? Same thing happened to Lamar Odom, and his entire life collapsed. Like literally, he spiraled. His entire life went down, right? Because of that, right? It's just that's wild because Klay could still have those nights, just not as long. I think Klay would be great on the Lakers. I've said this before. Dallas doesn't have the playmakers, right? So like Klay Thompson is basically Ray Allen at the point where Ray Allen was on Miami, right? Klay Thompson essentially needs to be a spot up, catch and shoot 3-point shooter. He doesn't have the movement shooting like he used to. Right? The problem is he can't just be a spot up, catch and shoot 3-point shooter on a team like Dallas because they don't have the guys that deter him. Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves would have Klay Thompson probably looking like prime Klay Thompson more often than not. I feel the Lakers will get Herb Jones. I hope so. I would love it. I really do. I'm hesitant to. Whoops, darn it. There we go. I'm hesitant to trade the 2026 pick because there's a player I want on the next draft, and I think the Lakers have a chance to get him based on some mock drafts. I saw Dudo Yusuf. The problem is, I think if you're the Lakers, you gotta kind of do it. Is horror of the year going to be primary? You gotta look at it that way, right? It is. It's horror movies, just it's a mess. But I'm gonna get on out of here. Got to the end of the chat, which was interesting. Should Suns trade for Fox? That's actually a good question. If I was the Suns, yeah, I would trade for Fox. I just don't think Spurs will do it anytime soon. But yeah, Fox and Booker in your backcourt would be tough. But anyway, I'm going to skate on out here. We got another live stream tomorrow. Yeah, good stream, good win. I'll take it. Big game is tomorrow, right? Have to beat the Spurs. This is a huge game that has huge implications. Lakers cannot mess around with. They cannot play with their food. Go in, do what you're supposed to do. Walk out with that win. And let's make it happen. Because Lakers get that win. They're right. They're perfectly primed and ready to be the 2 seed, and they have a very favorable schedule the rest of the season, so they should be able to potentially lock in that 8 seed. So I'm really hoping for that. But anyway, on your way out, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed and you're hanging out. And I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully with a win against the Spurs. But